Tonight, 80 new COVID-19 cases recorded in the last 24 hours, as well as 3 deaths, taking COVID-19 cases to 45,292 and the death toll to 770. Superintendent Carlos Russell, commanding officer for the Trelawney Police Division, says there is a 38% decrease in serious crimes in comparison to last year.
Carlos Russell, Superintendent of Police, Commanding Officer for the Trelawney Division.
Still tonight, the Firearm Licensing Authority advises that all firearms that have been left at its office for over 5 years without payment of the requisite storage fees will be destroyed, and an additional $100 million is being allocated through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to ease the pressures vulnerable families are facing because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
I caused to be initiated a program that will cost us $100 million because we recognize that it is absolutely urgent. Time cannot be spent dilly-dallying about giving assistance to the poor and the needy.
Good evening. The country recorded 80 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, as well as 3 deaths, taking the total of COVID-19 cases now to 45,292, of which 23,348 are active. The death toll has increased to 770. The deaths are of 2 men from Westmoreland aged 59 and 80 years, and a 76-year-old man from Portland. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew with 28 cases. Manchester recorded 2 cases, St. Anne 8 cases, St. Catherine recorded 11 cases, St. Elizabeth recorded 1 case, St. James and Trelawney recorded 6 cases, while St. Mary and Westmoreland recorded 9 cases each. Of the new cases, 46 are females and 34 are males ranging in age from 9 months to 87 years. At the same time, there were 113 recoveries for a total of 20,842 recovered persons. There are 30 patients critically ill in the hospital, while there are 219 persons hospitalized with COVID-19. In other news tonight, former Senior Superintendent of Police Renita Adams has been hospitalized. Mr. Adams was admitted to the Spanish Town Hospital on Monday after experiencing a concussion from a fall at his St. Catherine home. He has since tested positive for COVID-19. Still making the news tonight, the police say that 34 persons were detained by law enforcement officers at an illegal party held at Olympic Way in St. Andrew last night. The event took place meters away from the police station. Public gatherings are restricted to 10 persons during non-curfew hours, and last night's curfew began at 8 o'clock. In news from Trelawney now, the Warsop police have charged 34-year-old Anthony Bailey, otherwise called Israel, a farmer of Warsop, with attempted murder in connection with an incident in New Road District, Warsop, that occurred in the parish on April 15. Reports from the police coming into our news center tonight are that at approximately 8:30 p.m., Bailey, who was reportedly armed with a knife, approached the complainant and threatened to kill her. He then allegedly stabbed her all over her body. The complainant was transported to the hospital, where she was treated and admitted in stable condition. Then on Monday, April 26, Bailey turned himself into the police, where he was arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. In other news tonight, Superintendent Carlos Russell, commanding officer for the Trelawney Police Division, says there is a 38% decrease in serious crimes in comparison to last year.
Since the start of the year, the Trelawney Division would have recorded 31 serious crimes compared to 50 for the corresponding period of last year. So we would have seen a 38% reduction. In the category of murder, we have 4 murders compared to 9 for the previous period, which is a 56% reduction. We have also had a reduction in rape. For the period, we have recorded 2 cases of rape compared to 6 for the previous year. As relates to shootings, we are on par, 5 shootings compared to 5 for the previous period. And for robbery, we have 4 compared to 4 for the previous period. Overall, I would say that the Trelawney Division is seeing a lull in major crimes compared to last year.
Superintendent Russell also pointed out that the citizens of Trelawney will not allow criminals to take over their community.
Well, let me tell you this. Trelawney is no safe haven, and the citizens of Trelawney will not allow criminals to come here and take over. The police, we are out, our intelligence arm, we are out, and we continue to work with the citizens, and where persons come in the community that we believe are not up to no good, then we will be targeting them. And we continue to do our operational activities, targeting persons that we believe are involved in criminal activities, or we have information that they are involved in criminal activities. So Trelawney is no safe haven, and I would want to warn criminals that this is not a place for them to come to hide, because they will be caught and they will be arrested.
The commanding officer further credited the lockdown that has been put in place to reduce movement of persons in an effort to reduce the spread of COVID-19 as one factor that is helping the police deal with fewer incidents in the parish.
I would say the lockdown is an aid to the police. For instance, we have less persons on the street at night, and it does help the police. The citizens of Trelawney are not known for their violent nature. We have a few incidents here and there, and we'll not get away from that. And when we do have incidents, we ensure that they are properly investigated and persons are brought to books. As it relates to the Disaster Risk Management Act, we have been getting good compliance from our citizens. We have our issues here and there, where we have seen where we have to arrest a few persons. I believe for the month of April, we have arrested a total of 50 persons for breaches. But we want to commend the citizens of the parish for complying with the rules, and we have not had much issues. For the few persons who are bent and breaking the rules, then those are the persons that will be brought to books.
Superintendent Russell also explained that the parish has been plagued with domestic issues for some time.
The parish has been plagued for some time with domestic issues. That is the most reported issues that we have in the parish, domestic issues. And we as a police have been doing our best to deal with these issues. Matters of a domestic nature are normally things that happen within the home. So if it is not reported, then we will not know about it. So what we implore on our citizens to do, neighbors, family members who know of situations that are happening of a domestic nature, that they report it to the police, and we try our best to see how best we can get them resolved as quickly as possible, because we don't know when they will become deadly. So we cannot sit down and watch and see these things happening in our community, in our neighborhood, and we do nothing. So as our citizens, we have to play our part and ensure that we do our best to ensure that these matters are resolved as quickly as possible.
Still making the news tonight, The Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, is advising that all firearms that have been left at its office for over 5 years without payment of the requisite storage fees will be destroyed. According to the FLA, it will be embarking upon a destruction project this year. Now, this is in keeping with Section 45(5)(b) of the Firearms Act, which provides that firearms that have been stored at the FLA longer than 12 months without payment of the prescribed fees be forfeited to the government. The agency said that all such firearms will be earmarked for destruction. The FLA added that licensees whose weapons are likely to be forfeited under this provision and who wish to reclaim their firearms should make contact with the authority before May 31 at telephone number 876-927-5158. In other news tonight, detectives assigned to the Narcotics Division seized approximately 2,000 pounds of compressed marijuana in Hellshire last night. Reports coming into our news center are that at approximately 9 p.m., officers from the St. Catherine South Police were on patrol along the Hellshire Main Road when they saw a white Toyota Noah motor vehicle parked along the roadway. They stopped to investigate and saw several men running in different directions. The officers went along the beach and saw a fishing boat docked along the shore with a number of knitted bags on board. Officers from the Narcotics Division were contacted and the boat was searched and found to contain a total of 55 knitted bags containing compressed marijuana. And we now go to news from St. Elizabeth. 2 motorcyclists died as a result of injuries they sustained in a collision on the Oxford Main Road in the parish yesterday. They have been identified as 22-year-old Jason Taylor of Brompton District and 33-year-old Jason Salmon of Oxford District. Reports coming into our news center are that at approximately 6:30 p.m., Taylor was riding a Cobra motorcycle towards Santa Cruz when he allegedly overtook a motor car and collided with Salmon, who was riding a high-rev motorcycle in the opposite direction. Both men received multiple injuries and were taken to the hospital, where they were pronounced dead. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories as Minister of Labour and Social Security, Karl Samuda, tabled Ministry Paper number 27, outlining the government's intention to introduce a social pension program this year. And an additional $100 million is being allocated through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to ease the pressures vulnerable families are feeling because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But first, we'll take a break and then join Christopher Scott with the very latest in sports.